Okay, my name is Spyros Sakellariou. I work for Intracom Telecom. I work for the group of companies of Intracom Telecom group of companies for the last 18 years. I am a section manager, meaning that I am responsible for various products, software products for Intracom Telecom, including technologies like big data, network functions visualization, etc. I belong to the telco software division, where we make software for the telecommunications sector. Yes. One way was to start adopting agile development methodologies, meaning that we reduce the deliverables to very short life cycles, lasting 2 weeks each. All the software development teams, they went through courses about agile development, Scrum, extreme programming, and these kind of methodologies that created a lot of interactions between us, who we are the product managers, and in some sense we represent the customers and the development teams, and that shortened the product lifecycle development by a lot, probably half. We have the time. Still, though, that is a very long cycle, and again, you know, it's a big investment that you have to take up front. So we also, as product managers, we adapted some other lean startup techniques. Things like we would create presentations of the product as it would look at the very complete stage. So when the product is completed, and we went and visit the customers and showed them these presentations and discussed with them even before we had the first deliverable. And we got very, very valuable input, and that way we were able to do something called refactoring very easy, so we could pivot our development cycle very early enough and easy enough, because we both had agile development methodologies, and as well as early input from customers. Yes, there are two types of communication bottlenecks, let's say, that we had problems with. The first one was the easiest to resolve, and that's communicating among engineers, project managers, and product managers. And Scrum and Agile development methodologies take care of that. For example, there are weekly meetings, there are weekly presentations, there are daily meetings, morning meetings. I mean, there are all kind of meetings that they are very short, very precise about what we're going to present and how we're going to communicate, and that solved that problem. But there are other problems as well that they are more difficult to resolve. What happens when you realize that you're going in the wrong direction? How do you communicate that to management? In the past, we had tried to do something called the product portfolio evaluation, but it turned out that people were reluctant to tell the truth in these evaluations. So one way to resolve that and you know, avoid the blaming game when something goes wrong, because this is where communication crumbles when things go wrong. is to involve management as well in this process. If they know early enough what's going on and what the problem is, it's much easier to tell them that, okay, things didn't go well for this and that reason, and we need either to reinvest, we need to pivot, or we even need to drop the development altogether and do something else. And I think the only solution to that was to be very honest with the upper management and early involvement of upper management into the development process, instead of late reports and this impersonal communication we had in the past with some Excel sheets that they didn't mean anything to anybody. Unfortunately, it's not that easy to show them prototypes. Again, the product life cycles are long, and a lot of our products do not even have a user interface because these are telecom products. Maybe you have something that routes traffic of internet packets, for example. I mean, it's hard to give prototypes to a customer. Even putting it into their network is really hard. So the answer to that, because it's really important to get customer feedback. You don't want to invest money in product development and building something you think is great, and then at the end of the day, nobody wants it. Or they have something, and I mean, sometimes you realize that they get something for free and it's not as good as yours, but nevertheless, free is good enough. So you need to get that input early enough. So how do you do that? The best way for products that have really long development life cycles is to do it on paper. So a lot of PowerPoints try to deliver something to the customer that looks as if you're presenting a product that is complete. So in effect, you do tell them that this is your roadmap, but the way you talk to your customers is talking to them as if you have the product ready and you're selling it to them. And you get a lot of useful input. You get input of whether they're willing to pay money for that product, whether they would like to see something different. A lot of times you also get a lot of input about competition, because they'll tell you, oh yeah, but I've seen that from that other company and you didn't know about it. So unfortunately, we don't have, it's not that easy in the majority of our products to have early prototypes, but that PowerPoint technique seems to work for us.